I think. Okay, I'm gonna try. Actually, no. I'm gonna have to actually set this up. Shit, I completely forgot to set this up. I apologize. Um. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Knight, or Emma for short. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to This Is Not Your House. This is the 13th day in the 31 days of horror we are currently doing. Roger always knew if we were attacked, it would happen on the walk from his car to his home. So he readied his house key before slipping out of the vehicle, keeping it ready as he walked to the trunk of his car. He hangs his groceries from his wrists, keeping his fingers free to open the front door without fumbling. As Roger makes his way to his porch, his eyes start darting between the house's corners. He read about a young woman being ambushed in the driveway the week before. He tries to put it out of his mind, by counting how many steps it takes him to reach the front door, but he can't stop listening for the sound of someone rushing toward him. There was a gentle breeze and the white noise of the distant traffic. Roger assures himself he is right to remain vigilant. It only takes a split second for someone to get the drop on you. Steady with the key now, smooth as fast. Roger's key slides in on first try. It won't turn. Roger removes his key and inspects it. It's engraved with a large H, definitely the correct key. Roger tries the key again. Locked, jammed, broken maybe? Roger takes a step away from the door and scans the area for suspicious persons. He sees no one. He releases his grasp on the key and leaves it on the lock. He drops his grocery bags on the porch. He tries furiously to turn the pull and push on the key and door handle every which way. Without success, Roger hears something inside. A shadow passes by the window. It looks like someone's silhouette for the curtain. Roger pounds on the door. Open up this instant, the police are en route. The door unlocks on the inside. Can I help you? You can stop by getting out of my house. This house does not belong to you. Check the deed, lady. A deed is only a piece of paper. One that proves the house is my property. Personal property is a social construct. Those who inhabit a space own it. Let me let me save it. Keep the house. I'll take my car and head down the station. Which car is that? The one I pulled up in. I didn't notice. The only one sitting in the driveway. But sir, that's my car. What the hell? Walter turns just in time to see the car he calls his own, reversing in the street. He sees the homeowner wave to him from the driver's seat, disappear down the road. Here. Here, let me help you with that. Roger tries to run after his car, but the homeowner grabs hold of his shirt. She slips it off with one deep swift. Roger spins around, trying to grab hold of his button down. He feels goosebumps forming in his arms as his nipples harden. Give me my shirt back, no need for these either. The homeowner grabs the hem of Roger's pants and yanks backward, knocking Roger flat on his back. The homeowner quickly slides off his pants and the remaining article on his person. Roger lies dazed with head pounding from the collision with the porch. He hears sounds of rustling fabric and crinkling plastic bags. Roger wraps his arms around his head and groans. Please not my chicken. The homeowner gathers Roger's things, glides into the house and slaps the door shut. Roger pulls himself to his feet. He cups his genitals in his hand and tries to keep warm. Feeling something cold. You know what? Actually, no. I'm assuming this game is quite long. No, man, I can't load the game. Okay. Once this, depending on what ending I get, because I don't have a lot of time today. I'm just gonna do what ending I can do. I guess I'll break down the door. I guess I should try and just seize my house back, I guess. Roger is a strong man, but not strong enough to break the door down with his bare feet. So instead he takes a swing at the door's window. He feels something warm and slippery poured on his arm as he fumbles the deadbolt. He manages to get a grip on the lock and slide it open. Roger opens the door and shuffles inside. He has heavy footsteps from the floor above. The steps indicate the homeowner is headed for the stairs. Shit. Actually found his shotgun. Roger only had a moment to act. Roger darts to the knife block in the kitchen, and they are 15 feet away. He yanks out the butcher's knife and wheels around heading for the stairs. A yellow flash reflects of cinder. Roger lies dead, practically eviscerated by his own shotgun. The homeowner calls the police to report the incident. What is left of the body is labelled a John Doe. It was cremated by the town according to protocol. The local people released a story about the incident, labeling Roger an unidentified drifter and the homeowner as a neighborhood hero. Some locals caught the story and recognized Roger from the area. A correction was printed, but it portrayed Roger as an unstable addict, a comfortable state of undress and violent behavior. Local officers used to rate Roger as a cautionary table at school assemblies to display the dangers associated with drug abuse. The homeowner was heralded throughout the state as an example of someone who defended themselves when police were nowhere in sight. She was paid handsomely to act as the keynote speaker for a variety of closing events over the next few years. End credits. Okay. Yeah, let me just get back to the. I'll do two endings because, like I say, I don't have a lot of time. Also, I don't know what it's doing. I might as well just just completely get rid of my controller because it's completely worthless for this episode anyway. Because the controls are just being a nuisance. I'll take my house back. I have a rotisserie chicken cooling off out here. I'll be eating it in my dining room before it's room temp. The homeowner attempts to shut the door on Roger. Roger swiftly jams his foot between the door and its frame. He presses his face into the gap his foot provides. I don't think you heard me. Roger shoulders the door wide open. The homeowner is knocked back into the kitchen. You forgot your chicken. I'll get it when you're gone. I don't know what that says. He. Be sure not to leave too often, Roger. Be sure not to leave too often, Roger. I have a habit of roosting in unattended spaces. Roger has a car started right outside. He looks out the window to see what's going on. The homeowner waves from the driver's seat of his car and disappears down the road. It can't be. Roger wheels around. The homeowner is no longer in his kitchen. He proceeds to clear the house, room by room, until he's sure she's gone. Roger spent the next few days gathering up every trace of the homeowner's presence and passed it on to the authorities. Oh, sorry, I'm getting better, but not too bad, you know. Dualies, tail runners, oiled up drip runners, candles. It seemed like she'd lived there for years, leaving things in odd places only someone familiar with this place. It took Roger an additional half day just to rearrange the furniture. Thankfully, she hadn't moved in her own, and there was nothing left for Roger to do, except his grocery shopping. He decided to have his groceries delivered by a boy from the neighborhood for a while. He didn't want to leave the house alone. He started to feel silly about it after a few weeks passed, so he placed a call at the station following up on his vehicle's disappearance. The police explained they were unable to locate his missing car and had no leads. Roger bought a junkyard to handle some errands around the town. He didn't notice the walk from his car to his house anymore. The only thing that worried him is whether or not he could turn his key when he got home. A shadow passes by the window. End credits. You know, I'm not gonna lie, this game is very, very interesting, and I could do like a lot of different options. I'm gonna do one more ending because since it's such a short game, I'm gonna do one more ending. I'm gonna get the chicken. Roger turns around to collect his groceries. He sees someone analogous to the homeowner devouring his raw rotisserie chicken. The homeowner behind Roger grabs a paring knife. The homeowner clamps a hand over Roger's mouth and shoves the blade into his back. Muffled gasp. The knife forces the air from Roger's lungs. He paws helplessly at the homeowner's arm. Roger's vision narrows and blurs. He tries to bite the homeowner and break free. The hand remains firmly clamped over his mouth. He can taste the tang of her blood with an unexpected acidity. The homeowner gently lowers Roger to the ground full. Roger tries to get up but grows weaker. His blood pumps through his heart and out his back. The homeowner keeps him pinned to the floor, pressing down on his chest to strain his breathing. Roger goes tired and slips away into a calm and reassuring dark. The homeowner's analog grabs the grocery bags and carries them inside. It sets the bags on the floor and steals a glance at Roger. We have plenty to eat tonight. There may even be enough to store in the freezer. We'll need to dress and quarter it to see how much there is. Now close the door. I won't tolerate a draft. The homeowner's analog grabs the door and throws it shut. The goings on and off the house safeguarded. From the eyes of prying neighbors by a door and some drapes. End credits. Okay, you know what? I am really, really, really enjoying this. Epic shirts must all casual fit like Mr. DSP. This is a drama talk. Do I keep going? I kind of want to keep going. I mean, how many trophies is there actually? Okay, there's 10 endings. I'll do one more. I said that before, but like, one more can't hurt. Okay, let her have the house. Let's wait her out. Roger was not one to bully others or be bullied himself. He stood resolutely on his porch like any respectable citizen would. He spent the first few hours hollering or pounding on his own front door. As it grew late and cold, Roger began to lose feeling in his extremities. His pounding became limp and inconsistent, and his hollers turned to hoarse whispers. He became warm and a bit drowsy. Roger reasoned it was best to get some rest and resume his civilian opposition in the morning. Morning did not come for Roger. He sat on the porch, curled up and nestled his head against the front door. It was the comfiest and the sleepiest Roger had ever been. The homeowner discovered Roger at dawn and called the police. Cause of death was determined to be hypothermia. He was tagged as a John Doe and placed on a morgue to await cremation. Roger's final moments were warm and he was not afraid. End credits. Okay, let's get all these endings. Holy shit. I really, really like this game. I did not expect it to be like this short. But yeah. Let her have the house. Break down the door. Hide in ambush. Roger wasn't sure he could make it to the kitchen and back before the homeowner reached him. He pressed himself against the corner wall at the bottom of the staircase, hoping to remain out of sight. The homeowner's heavy footfall makes it easy to follow her movements. Roger sees the barrel of his shotgun slide through the entryway. He grabs hold of it and rushes around the corner. The homeowner falls back on the stairs. Roger yanks the gun away from her with his good hand. The homeowner stares at Roger and tries to set it up. Roger brings the butt of the shotgun down on her face. He presses down, grinding and twisting it into her. Her smile peeks out at him from around the gun's stock. She reaches for the trigger. Roger pulls the gun away and brings it down on her face. He does it again, and again, and again, relentlessly fragmenting and distorting her features into a puddle. He was satisfied when he could no longer see her eyes. The police arrived shortly after. A neighbor called 20 minutes earlier, due to the sound of breaking glass. Roger's defense team could not accurately explain the circumstances leading to him viciously beating an unarmed woman to death in his home. A woman police were never able to identify. Due to excessive facial and dental trauma, missing fingerprints, and a lack of documentation, the jury found Roger guilty of first degree. How? Okay, so basically, if she does it, right, it's fine. If she does it, it's fine. If I do it, it's bad. The prosecution convinced jurors that Roger had kidnapped the woman and killed her when she attempted to escape his home. Roger now had to cell on death row awaiting lethal injection. Oh. You know what this game reminds me of generally? Sorry about my nose again. It reminds me a lot of Junji, or like the idea that like when he leaves the house and he comes back, someone's already inhabiting it. There's a very similar Junji story where like it's part of the Junji collection. I don't know if it's the Crunch. I'm looking up at my Junji Funko Pops. It's not. It's either the Crunchyroll one or the Netflix one. One of the two has an episode based around the manga. Obviously, it's obviously it's an adaptation of the manga story. Which is like some guy's friend rents out a house to these people, but when he comes back, like the house is all moldy, and it just reminds me of that in a way. I don't have the house. Okay, let's seek shelter this time. With no immediate means of retaking his home house, Roger thinks it's best to find someone to rest. He takes off into the woods in search of shelter from the elements. Roger finds a grove just before dark. At its center stands an immense hollow tree. Roger calls inside and huddles against its bark for warmth. It protects him from the biting and outside. As he settles into a comfortable position, his breathing slows and he drifts off to sleep. He wakes the next morning in terrible hunger pangs. What was it saying? He crawls over the tree and onto the dewy forest floor. He scrounges around looking for food. He happens upon a large growth of mushrooms. Okay, so these are the last two options. Well, sorry. These options and then the other. Okay, that's. Roger consumes the mushrooms with a desperate ferocity. They have a bitter taste, but Roger's hunger allows him to chew through it. As his belly fills with mushrooms, he starts to feel ill. His head begins to spin. His manner of thought shifts and becomes fluid. Roger sees the world around him as part of him. Or... Holy shit. God damn, or he is a part of it. Very small part. Emote. The one is right in part. Personally, property is a construct, but habitation is not meant of ownership. He did not own the immense tree anymore, after sleeping in it than he did before knowing of it. The boat merely landed on the tree. In the morning he came upon some mushrooms and began thinking of the world before itself. It surrendered itself to the soil, to the cool damp, to the network. Sorry, forsaking hunger. Forsaking words. Words like Roger and returning home. Okay, so I died becoming part of the fungal network. Roger wasn't sure if the mushrooms were poisonous or not. He didn't want to risk dying for a single breakfast. He let them be. But the fact remained. He was hungry. He set off for the edge of the forest at a brisk pace. Skunking through the... He's not going to eat the woman, is he, like a Wendigo? It's not going to, like, turn to a Wendigo or something. Skulking through the tree line parallel to the roadway to hide his nakedness. As the forest thins, he ducks in alleys and hides behind garbage cans. Guess that's in there. He smells something in the breeze. Makes him salivate, and catches his face with an aggravated longing. Bright red, something catches Roger's eye. A fire station. They might be able to help. I'd follow something to food first. Roger's hunger takes hold of him. It demands satisfaction. So he follows the scent in the air. He finds his way to the nearly ultra store. The welcomer at the door barely notices him, distracted by a handheld gaming device. Roger wanders the vacant halls of the store until he finds men's clothing. He grabs a simple outfit, a pair of socks and some sneakers, then heads straight for the ready-made meals by the self-checkout, piping hot pizzas for breakfast. Roger grabs one of the boxes and takes a seat on the floor in the front of the display. He uses the box as a plate and chows down the dormitories. A bit sleepy but satisfied, Roger takes a moment to think. With some warm clothes and a full stomach, the answer strikes him almost immediately. Roger shuffles out of the store, leaving discarded pizza boxes and tags in his wake. He makes his way to the ATM outside the store's entrance. Roger reads the display and looks down. He sees the ATM's crevices. He slides his arm inside. It is cold, pulsating. Roger looks up at the display. His fingers grope around inside the orifice for the key. Why is it in the orifice for the keypad? Roger feels the raised shape of the numbers on the keys. He pokes his pen at the pad. The ATM produces his funds. Roger pays for the clothes and pizza, while checking out some additional supplies. Roger had never committed a criminal act. He was distressed to discover how easy it was. At his own house in broad daylight, no one paid any attention as he hooked a hose up to the gas tank outside of the house. No one batted an eye when he broke the kitchen window, or ran the gas tank's hose through it. Not even when he threw the lit Zippo inside. The neighborhood only took notice when they heard the results. The fire department was first to arrive on the scene. Roger was impressed by the response time. Thankfully, their investigative abilities left Bush aside. They declared the fire a natural accident caused by a gas leak. Roger was able to claim the full amount on his insurance policy and use the money to buy a home closer to his grandchildren. Okay, I'm gonna say so far that is probably the best ending. The idea that he, managed to claim insurance. Reason compels Roger to stop at the fire station and seek assistance. He knocks on the front door. The man who answers seems unfazed by Roger's lack of dress. "Sir, is it possible the station has some clothing it could lend me? Or some food to spare? Got plenty of both, come on in." Roger is given a baggy t-shirt with a monogram of a defunct company on it, accompanied by some ill-fitting pants. He relaxes knowing he will not be charged with incident exposure. Terry's in charge of lunch for the station today. He's got a pot of chili going. Might not be appetizing first thing in the morning, but it's what we got. I would appreciate some thank you. The fireman nods and hurries back with a bowl of chili and a cold beer. Roger isn't normally one for beer, but it is dark and film. "So, if you don't mind me asking, what's got you out on the street with your pecker hanging out?" "I went off for groceries yesterday while I was out. Some woman broke into my house and changed the locks. I couldn't get back in and I had to spend the night in the woods." "But why was your pecker out? You like shot niggers?" "No, the woman hadn't accomplice who broke into my car while I was trying to get into the house. I tried to stop her from taking the car, but the woman in the house jumped me from behind when I did. I took a bad blow to the head. She stripped me on the porch, and her pal took off with my car. Fireman scratches his beard. Why didn't you go to the police? It was freezing out and getting dark fast. I don't know how to find the station, and she took my phone, so I just holed up for the night. Glad you made it. Awfully cold last night. Kind of makes it our slow season. I'm just glad I stumbled into this place. The facade really stands out. You got any kind of documentation to prove you own that house? Of course, I have the deed in a safety deposit box, but I need my ID to get it. And that bitch took my pants and my wallet stolen them. You think she's still in the house, or took off in the car with her? Took off in the car with her, pal. She had no intention of leaving, I can tell you that. That settles it then. I'll get the blues on the horn and get this sorted for you. The fireman lumbers over to a phone in the bar wall. A wave of relief washes over Roger, knowing a civil servant is assisting him. Still, the fireman's reaction to Roger's story troubles him. He doesn't want the fireman thinking of him as a crazy old man. Worse still, Roger worries he's a crazy old man, just doesn't know it yet. A part of him hopes the woman is still in the house to prove to himself that what he remembers happening really happened. When police arrive at Roger's residence, they find the homeowner barricaded inside, the upstairs bedroom, raving that the house is hers. She's been there all her life, it's her childhood home. She demands the police get a warrant to search the premises, but she's unable to provide personal ID or proof of residence. Bearing no legal claim to the property, she cannot refuse them entry. They are unable to locate Roger's wallet, believing the homeowner has destroyed it. Oh, do not like this music. Roger's social security card and birth certificate are recovered from the premises, which he uses to acquire the deed from a safety deposit box. With the proper paperwork secured and presented to the authorities, Roger is permitted entry to his home. The homeowner is taken to police custody. Roger spent the next several years checking in on the homeowner, as she was transferred between a variety of state mental institutions. He eventually lost track of her in the system. He nearly forgot about her altogether until his car was recovered. It was unearthed at a site in Nevada where black rock was breaking ground on the construction of a new housing complex. Roger put the car out of his mind. He didn't allow himself to worry about the homeowner. He kept the shotgun on his bedside and slept easy. Okay, so that's another happy ending. So at least we got 2 happy endings for it. If I correct, it's only 1 more ending. Two more endings, I guess. Let her have the house. Find hell. Driven by the belief he cannot resolve the house theft on his own, Roger runs off to find help. Running down the road, he spots a police cruiser on patrol. Roger begins wildly flailing his arms and calling out for the vehicle to stop. The cruiser comes to a halt and an officer steps out from the passenger seat. Roger sprints toward him, shouting to explain the situation. The officer enters a defensive stance and draws his weapon on Roger. Roger freezes in place, thrusting his hands in the air. Don't move. Hands. Let me see those hands. They're up. I'm cooperating. Suspect is uncooperative. I'm cooperating. What am I suspect of? Turn around. I said turn around right now. Roger complies. Walk backwards to me. Roger walks backwards towards the officer. Not so fast. Roger stops in a lethal game of red light, green light. Did I say stop? Roger does not speak, and he does not move. He does not want to alarm the officer. Come on, hurry up. Roger very slowly walks backward towards the officer. I said slowly, not slow motion. Pick up the pace. What a fucking dickhead. I know these people don't... Okay, I imagine these people do exist. Not all of them, of course, but... The way he's just being a dick, like... He's obviously just a trigger-happy cop. Roger does not hasten his pace. He is terrified of doing something that could be seen as threatening. That's it. Some of the officer's footsteps draws near to Roger. Roger hears cuffs being made behind him. He feels the rolled metal press against his wrists. The officer thrusts Roger against the hood of his car. Roger can feel the cuffs tightening, further cutting off circulation. Please, officer, I'm cooperating. The officer yanks Roger off the hood and steers him with the chain of his cuffs. The metal digs into Roger's wrists as he feels to anticipate the officer's movements. The officer pushes Roger into the backseat and slams the door. The officer quickly climbs to the front seat and jumps to the radio of dispatch. Roger's naked body wiggles against the leather in the backseat as he attempts to sit up. The officer brings his fist down on the car's dash. "Keep it down back there." A few tears stream down Roger's face in the dark. The tears make him feel ashamed, but he can't express how angry and helpless he feels. "Please, someone has broken into my house. Look, we're passing by it right now. Just pull over." "The old someone stole my house," routine. Save for the judge, junkie. "I'm not a junkie. I'm a senior citizen and I need help." "You don't see many elderly junkies, huh?" "What are you talking about?" The officers sit in total silence as they cruise towards the station. Roger sits back and tries not to exaggerate the situation further. "So you're telling us that you went out shopping and returned home to find your locks changed?" "That's right. Then I started pounding on the door and some strange woman answered." "Strange? How?" "What do you mean? She stole my house." "Right, but what is it that made her strange to you?" "How calm she was about it all, acting like I was a perfect stranger and that she belonged there." The officers glanced at one another. "So you found your locks changed and a strangely calm and comfortable woman at the door?" "Yes, but she was in my car as well." "So she left your house?" "No, she was in the house and I turned around and saw her driving away in my car at the same time." "A pair of twins, maybe?" They were her. In the car and the house all at once." "So what happened to your clothes?" "She took them right there on the porch. When I turned to see the car taken off, she slipped my shirt off." "Without you even asking?" The officers snicker as they share a look. "It's not funny, I was assaulted." "Sir, if a woman came up to me with a smile and asked for my clothes, I wouldn't report her." "Oh, fuck's sake." "She knocked me down and ripped off my pants." "Alright, sir, how much have you had to drink this evening?" "Not a drop." "So you're telling me you tried to get into someone else's house in a confused state? Though you thought you saw two of them, same person on one of the streets naked. But you haven't had anything to drink." "That's not what I said. This isn't how it happened." "You've already given your statement. All I need to know is how much you were drinking." Roger hangs his head in his hands. "You're right, officer. I've had a few too many tonight. I don't know what I'm saying." "It's alright, old timer. Just be glad it's not dementia." "I'm very grateful." "Well, you can spend the night in the drunk tank, and we'll release you in the morning." "Thank you, officers." Roger spent the last few hours of the evening resting on his cell floor. It was rigid and comfortable, but Roger had learned to deal with the discomfort in service. True to his word, the officer released Roger first thing in the morning. Roger received a pair of sweatpants from the lost and found to replace his jumpsuit. He had no phone or wallet and no idea what direction his house was in. He'd never been downtown and didn't know how to find his way out. He focused on finding shelter and food. He spent each day meeting his fundamental needs. Most passersby refused to look at him. The rest were too frightened by his appearance to speak with him. Everyone kept at a safe distance from him. He faded into the crowd entirely out of memory. Okay, one more ending. Now do I have the house? Let me find help. "I was not drinking. It's true what I said, every word of it." But a note that the subject is not cooperating and we haven't been able to possibly identify him. "My name is Roger Cormac. I've already told you that." "Sir, you'll be transferring to a news facility in the morning. You can explain the situation to them." "What kind of facility?" "The kind that has the resources necessary to help someone like you." Oh dear God. Roger spent the remainder of his life being shuttled between the state mental institutions. No one able to properly identify what allied him. Without a diagnosis and treatment plan in place, they were unable to release him. He raved about the woman who stole his house and his car. The staff learned to tune out his ravings as they did for the other patients. Content to consider his ramblings, law of some madman. Unspecified nonsense that you can hear processing your ear to any patient's cell door. End credits. And that was every single ending of This Is Not Your House. Sorry for all my sniffling during that. That was a really good game. Sorry again. I loved that. It reminded me very much of Junjito. like the story setup was very, very Junji. Like it was crazy how much it seemed like it. Oops. Um. Yeah, I loved that. Sorry, I can't my nose. Also, I like how the pixels, like just little pixels, can make up like this. I've always been a fan of like how you can just have like a pure one color. All you need is two colors really. Like Junji will just uses black and white, and somehow manages to make stuff so detailed. I know black and white is just the standard manga color, but the detail he does on his stuff is just crazy, just on the two colors. And same with this, like black and yellow, like it's so good. I would like to think my canon ending is if I had to pick the ending, right? I would pick between him being put in the mental institution or him blowing the house up. And getting a house closer to his grandkids. I would say that's the happiest ending, getting a house closer to his grandkids, and the bad ending is obviously, you know, the bad ending is, of course, what kind of thing? Him getting put in the mental institution, but, you know, very good game. I don't know what else to say. I loved it. And with that out of the way, if you enjoy what you've seen today, sorry, I'm sick of this cold, and I just want to go to the bath straight after this. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future upload of mine. And I'll see you in the next stream that we do. Bye bye!